Imagine a dimly lit room, a single beam of light illuminating an aged newspaper headline from January 1827. The ink is faded, but the words are stark. Sale of Monticello property. This is not just any sale. It is the public announcement of the auction of Monticello itself, along with nearly 130 enslaved men, women, and children who called it home. This was the final act of a man whose name would be synonymous with liberty for centuries to come. How does this man, the author of our nation's most sacred creed, end his life in such desperate circumstances, forcing his family into the marketplace? This opening leads us directly to the story of Sally Hemings, Jefferson's enslaved partner and mother of his 6 children. Her story, long hidden, provides the perfect entry point into the central conflict of Jefferson's legacy. Madison Hemings, one of their sons, recounted in an 1873 interview that Jefferson was his father, a claim later corroborated by DNA evidence linking a male line relative of Jefferson to a male line descendant of Eston Hemings, another of Sally's sons. 4 of Sally Hemings' 6 children survived to adulthood: Madison, Eston, Beverly, and Harriet. Before returning to Virginia from France, Jefferson made a solemn promise to her. He would free their children at the age of 21. He kept that promise. Beverly and Harriet left Monticello as young adults, and Madison and Eston were freed in his will. They were the only nuclear family he emancipated in his lifetime, an act born from a relationship built on coercion, yet revealing a flicker of conscience amidst profound injustice. Hold on just a second. If you're still watching, that means you're enjoying this as much as I enjoyed making it. Seriously, if you want to support the channel and make sure you never miss another video, please take 2 seconds right now to like the video and subscribe. It's the absolute best way to help us keep this content coming. All right, thanks for that. Now let's jump right back into the action. Now, cut to a young Jefferson, just 33 years old, in a Philadelphia boarding house in 1776. The air is cool. The scent of ink and parchment fills the room. He leans over a portable mahogany desk of his own design, pen in hand, crafting words that will echo through history. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. The same mind that penned this radical creed lived a life defined by its antithesis. At Monticello, the sounds of enslaved labor formed the constant backdrop to his intellectual pursuits. Jefferson was chosen by the Committee of Five to draft the Declaration of Independence. Drawing on Enlightenment thinkers, George Mason's Virginia Declaration of Rights, and his own earlier writings, he wove philosophy into revolutionary prose. But his original draft contained a blistering condemnation of King George III for perpetuating the transatlantic slave trade. The Continental Congress struck it out. Jefferson was deeply troubled, but he let it go, choosing unity over principle. It was the first of many such compromises. On July 4, 1776, the Declaration was adopted. Crowds cheered. A statue of King George III was torn down in New York. Jefferson had become a revolutionary hero. Years later, as president, Jefferson faced new trials. In 1803, envoys James Monroe and Robert Livingston were sent to buy New Orleans. Instead, they were offered the entire Louisiana Territory for $15 million. The deal doubled the size of the United States. But Jefferson, a strict constitutionalist, wrestled with its legality. He believed an amendment was needed, but in the end, he chose action over doctrine, invoking the laws of necessity. The Senate ratified the treaty. America expanded. His empire of liberty grew. But triumph gave way to tragedy. By 1807, British and French attacks on American ships threatened national honor. Jefferson responded with the Embargo Act, banning all foreign trade in hopes of forcing Europe to respect U.S. neutrality. Instead, The economy collapsed. Merchants starved. Smuggling ran rampant. New England seethed. Critics called him a tyrant. His policy of peaceable coercion became a symbol of failed idealism. All the while, Monticello stood, a monument to genius and contradiction. Jefferson owned over 600 enslaved people in his lifetime. His wealth, his home, his comfort all rested on their bondage. Among them was Sally Hemings, half-sister to his late wife, with whom he began a relationship in Paris when she was just 16. Back in Virginia, they had 6 children. She worked indoors, never in the fields, and secured a promise of freedom for her children, a rare act of paternal responsibility in a life steeped in denial. In 1998, DNA evidence confirmed what oral history had long held. Thomas Jefferson fathered Sally Hemings' children. The Thomas Jefferson Foundation now considers this a settled historical matter. Hold on just a second. If you're still watching, that means you're enjoying this as much as I enjoyed making it. Seriously, if you want to support the channel and make sure you never miss another video, please take 2 seconds right now to like the video and subscribe. It's the absolute best way to help us keep this content coming. All right, thanks for that. Now let's jump right back into the action. Yet, in his private writings, Jefferson expressed deep racism. In Notes on the State of Virginia, he condemned slavery as immoral, but also claimed black people were biologically inferior and insisted that emancipation must be followed by colonization, deportation to Africa. He never freed more than a handful of the hundreds he enslaved. His final years were marked by debt and decline. Despite his towering intellect, Jefferson was a poor manager of money. Lavish spending and endless renovations at Monticello left him bankrupt. He died on July 4, 1826, exactly 50 years after the Declaration's adoption, alone, in debt. His estate sold to pay creditors. In 1827, Monticello and 130 enslaved souls went to auction. Among the few spared were Madison and Eston Hemings, freed by his will. His library of 6,700 books was sold to Congress, becoming the foundation of the Library of Congress. Today, Monticello tells a fuller story, one that includes Sally Hemings and the hundreds whose labor built Jefferson's dream. His grave bears only the achievements he wished to be remembered for: author of the Declaration of Independence, of the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, and founder of the University of Virginia. But history remembers more. Jefferson remains one of America's most complex figures, a man who gave voice to liberty while denying it to those closest to him. His story forces us to confront the gap between our ideals and our actions. It is a story about the cost of ambition, the weight of history, and the enduring struggle to live up to the promises we make to ourselves and to the world. We've reached the end of this journey. This channel is more than just a place to watch videos. It's a community we're building, and your support is what makes it all possible. If you enjoyed what you saw today and you want to keep the adventure going, there are 2 quick clicks that make a huge difference. First, tap that like button below. It's the simplest way to tell me I'm making the content you want to see. Second, and most crucial, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It ensures you never miss a new video, and it helps this channel grow so we can tackle bigger, more exciting projects together. Seriously, every view, like, and subscribe pushes me to create the next thing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.